Well, you might not recognize this close up, but it's the 327 I drug home a while back, and I was just getting ready to do some work on it. I was going to install a spin-on filter adapter that I'd bought, and I noticed I was blowing the engine off with compressed air, and I noticed I had a broke off bolt in the oil pan rail. The rearmost quarter-inch bolt on the driver's side is broke off, and thankfully I taped it off here. I was thinking I was going to have to drill it out, but I actually got a punch and a hammer, and I am able to spin it. I don't know how well you can see, but I got really lucky. This thing's going to spin out. There it is. There's the culprit. It's not focusing very well. I apologize. But yeah, glad I caught it now before I did any more work on the engine. So now we can proceed with the oil filter adapter. I've never actually installed one of these before, but it looks pretty straightforward. I have a Fram HPK1 spin-on oil filter adapter. And I actually bought this one on eBay, super cheap, but it was missing this gasket here. But you know, I had one laying in a box, so it isn't a big deal. So there's that gasket. Looks like then this piece goes in, and it came with the cap screws here. This thing was missing all the original oil filter canister, so I figured I might as well just convert it. I've got a spare one off a 283, but anyway, this will be more convenient. This particular adapter uses a Fram Ford filter, like a 8A, so I won't use a Fram, but anyway, you can cross-reference that to a Wix or whatever filter you like. Grab a wrench and get that tightened down. This piece here came with like a square shouldered O-ring to seal it against the block here. And then basically you put this in and thread in the pipe nibble here. Alright, it took me a minute to get everything lined up properly, but there's the finished oil filter adapter. I don't know if I still have some old Ford filters or not. I'm going to go dig around. If I've got one, we'll thread one on here. If not, I'll go buy one. Alright, it took me a minute to find it, but I had an old case of Ford filters. This adapter takes a Ford style filter, and so anyway, I found a case of them I had from years ago, and just put a little oil on the gasket. Here we go, all done. One less thing on the 327 that needs done now. You get the idea. Just put a generous amount on there. It's less critical for this roller cam, but if you have a flat tappet camshaft, make sure you use extra. Also, if you have a flat tappet cam, buy yourself some cam break-in oil or break-in additive, one way or the other, so that you have the best chance of your camshaft living a long life. careful not to nick the cam bearings. Before I started, I also cleaned all the factory grease off the cam that's designed to keep it from rusting. So anyway, that's a good idea. I'm sure all of you have installed the main camshafts, but just going through this just in case no one's ever seen it. So I just have the cam to timing gear bolts in by hand, but this is the chain that came with the engine. And this engine was rebuilt at some point, but the mileage is unknown. So anyway, that's too much slop for me. So I pull this back apart, pull off the gear on the crank, and I've got a spare one of these. I'll try it. If it's no good, then I'll go get a new one. So anyway, I am not going to be using that one. Just wanted to show you there real fast. Well, I found my spare timing set, and it fit much tighter on this 327. So this was a low mileage unit that was used briefly, one of my other small blocks. So it went on along with the cam button for the roller cam there. So I checked the clearance with the timing cover. It looks pretty good. I'll double check it again when I get the gasket in there and make sure everything's kosher. So right now I got the lifters soaking in oil. Here's the Doug Herbert solid roller lifters. These are made in USA. They are cheaper than the comp cams variety, and well, they're currently in my car, so they've lived a long life, and so this is a brand new set. Hopefully they also live a long life. Alright, we'll try this again. I had made a clip earlier of me explaining the cam specifications, but it was nice and blurry thanks to my camera. So anyway, I got the timing cover installed. Obviously all this will get painted when everything's together. The lifters are still soaking. I'm not going to put them in yet because I want to be able to turn the engine over if I have to on the stand, and I don't have the heads ready to go on yet. So, but anyway, the cam I just installed is the Comp Cams 12-770-8. It's a solid roller camshaft. The lift with the stock rocker ratio is 566 intake and 572 exhaust. The duration at 50 thousandths is 236 intake and 242 exhaust. So the reason I chose this cam, the car currently has a solid roller in it with 525 lift on both sides and 224 duration at 50, and it runs great, but it's in a 310 cubic inch engine, and I wanted it to rev a little harder, so I went up a step, and hopefully that's the right decision. Actually, I started making this video last week, just been filming little pieces as I go here, and today I watched Tony Angelo's 327 versus 5.3 video. It's really long, but it's really great. He basically freshens up a couple of engines, similar to what I'm doing here, and he actually put in comp cam solid roller as well, but one step bigger than this. I believe the one he put in is 12-771-8, and his engine with aftermarket heads made 449 horsepower, so that's really great. And this one will not be that good, but if I made 400, I'd be really happy. So anyway, I think that's all we got for now. I got to finish the heads up and do some more work, and then I'll make another update next time around. So here's the current progress, and thanks for watching, guys.